What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Evan. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Definitely always be sure to check out the description. The description always has links and extra info. Timestamps. I'm going to be doing timestamps. In today's video, I want to discuss Euphoria. It's the show of the moment. We just finished up with season 2. The finale just aired. I am shook. And get into all the great things about Euphoria and why it's such a great show. And if you don't know what Euphoria is and why it's a great show and why we're all talking about it and why so many people are watching it, this video is going to help you with that. Helping you understand why Euphoria is so great, why it's one of my favorite TV shows at the moment. It's also a lot of other people's favorite TV show at the moment. Big show for HBO right now. It's a huge hit. All the characters are getting the light on the show, but also outside of the show. They all have endorsement deals. Like, everyone on this show is doing big things. And it's the moment. It's the show of the moment. So Euphoria is a TV series on HBO MAX, and it centers around a bunch of high schoolers, Gen Z high schoolers, in the social digital media age. The show really takes us into the lives of all of these different characters, how they grew up, where they grew up, how were they treated, you know, their thought process. It's a really good way to get insight into these characters and why they are the way that they are. The show does a really good job at dissecting all of the different characters. It gives us a look at the different perspectives and viewpoints, and it does a great job at representing all walks of life. The show to me is very visually beautiful. The way it's shot, the cinematography of it all is really nice. The lighting. I have not seen a show in a really long time. I have not seen a movie in a really long time that like really visually captures me. Some of the scenes I feel like I can smell. A lot of the filming and editing techniques that these directors and producers do are amazing. Such a good job. Obsessed with it. That aspect, I do find it really beautiful. The show is quite controversial because of a lot of the topics that they cover, but I feel like it's emotionally real and I feel like it's visually subjective. Some critics that have said that the show is like glamorizing violence and drugs. I don't think that the show is glamorous at all. I feel like some of the scenes you can smell with the grittiness of how this show feels like to me. The only thing glamorous about Euphoria is probably the makeup. That's like the only glamorous thing. Everything else is not very glamorous on Euphoria. Euphoria is dark. I think that the critics get confused with what's glamorizing of this show in the sense that, you know, the actors are good looking. You know, we have a great cast. I think that critics get caught up in the visuals of like how these actors and actresses look and not necessarily about like what they're really experiencing, because what they're experiencing, there's nothing glamorous about what any of these characters are doing. It's sad, it's dark, we're talking drug abuse, mental health struggles here, loss of family members, a really dark emotional roller coaster of a show, and every time I watch it, I'm in my feelings. Like, every time I watch it, I'm in my feelings. It is also really funny, and very entertaining, and very well written. Critics have also said that the show is just another teen drama. I don't think it's just another teen drama, because this teen drama really centers around a lot of heavy topics. Let's just face it, a lot of these topics are real. What's the real problem with Euphoria? What is the real problem? I think that the real problem with Euphoria is that it really highlights a lot of ugliness a lot of teens have to go through it and endure. I think that Euphoria really puts a mirror into a lot of the traumas that millennials and Gen Zers have gone through. It's just putting a mirror back into our faces and making us realize a lot of the things that we go through and experience as teenagers and how it affects us. A lot of the things that go on with us as children, the way that our parents raise us, our environment, our surroundings, the traumas that we endure, and how they change us and how they shape us to be young adults. People don't like the realness of it all. There is so much more to Euphoria than just good-looking people and drug use. The entire show is always narrated through Zendaya, who is their main character of the show, kind of basically Rue. I feel like everyone really rotates with being like the main character because the show does a really good job at like giving us insight on the characters' backgrounds and where they're from and what they're going through and how they're feeling about things. But because Zendaya is the one that does the narrating, I feel like Rue is the main character. They're not all gonna be dealing with the same issues and the same, you know, dramas and dilemmas. The teens are figuring out their lives, they're navigating through life, and they don't know anything. They have nothing figured out, just like you and I did in high school. Everyone's in their own little world. They're still figuring themselves out. They're all interacting with each other and dealing with each other, but they're all caught up in their own little world. Some of the topics that the show tackles go from everything from drug addiction to revenge porn, abuse, cyberbullying, death, depression and mental illness, teen sexuality, body image, body dysmorphia, the consequences of doing drugs and, you know, the repercussions. I feel like everyone can really find something to relate to within one of these characters and one of the things that they're struggling with or experiencing or going through. I feel like a lot of us can connect with some aspect of one of these characters on this show, and that's one of the reasons why I think that it's really resonated with so many people. All walks of life, younger adults and older adults. I really love the aspect of the show deep diving into the background of these characters because you get to really understand the characters a lot more with the narrating of Rue. Zendaya does a great job at narrating. Zendaya does a great job at everything. She's a talent. I love her on this show. I think one of the reasons why Euphoria is also really successful and has done really well is because the script really has been unpredictable. I never know what I'm gonna get into. Everyone involved in making and bringing this show to life really are super bold. They're just bold. The actors are bold, the script is bold, the directors and cinematography is bold. Everything about this show is like really bold. I don't think it's predictable, and that's what keeps things really like fresh and interesting. Shot really well, that we have good looking actors, good makeup, visually stimulating the way that it's produced and edited, and that's what keeps so many people hooked and, you know, paying attention. Some drug use, lighting, and nudity doesn't mean glamour. There's nothing glamorous about this show. These characters have trauma and drama. I don't really feel like there's a lot of positivity in the show, but you know, there are some silver linings throughout the show and throughout the episode. I feel like ultimately the show is really sad. We're following Rue, the main character played by Zendaya, processing the death of her father. She hasn't fully accepted that he's gone. It still pains her. She's still in that grieving process. She has turned to drugs, and you know, you see her go through withdrawals. You see her using. It is not a pretty sight. You see the consequences of not being able to afford drugs, and you know, some of like the extremes that some will go to get their fix. This show really highlights that. Like, Zendaya's character does a lot of crazy, dangerous things, and I feel like season 3 is definitely gonna cover a lot of those things. There will be some consequences for Rue's character because we haven't really fully gotten to the consequences yet. We've gotten to some, but not like some of the bigger consequences that I feel like are really looming in the air. There is a lot that is going to have to be revealed and unpacked in season 3. It's a dark show, and whether you like it or not, teenagers throughout the world are experiencing lots of really familiar topics that are covered in this show. You know, being gender fluid is a thing now in high school. Drug use is casual. It is what it is. HBO is just, you know, highlighting it in this show. It's definitely a graphic show. Euphoria also does a really good job at keeping us hooked with like a really bomb soundtrack. Like, oh my god, I love the soundtrack of Euphoria. I was like, I'm a 90s kid. This show really has lots of like 90s music, hip hop and R&B, and I'm like, that's like from my era of growing up. I love the music on Euphoria. I love the fashion, makeup. I think the makeup was really dope. I mean, I remember when Euphoria first came out in 2019, everyone was going off about the makeup look. So walk into a makeup counter right now and say, hey, I want Euphoria makeup, and they know exactly what you're talking about. They're gonna give you that wing liner with the sparkles and the crystals and the jewels and all that. Oh, it's cute, it's fun, I love it. The cast is amazing. They all do wonderful jobs with this show. Will season 3 be the last? We don't know, but season 3 has already been confirmed. Now let's just see who decides to return, and you know, if HBO is gonna write that check. Overall, I think it's just a really good, entertaining show as far as, you know, it's really realistic. Some of these things and topics are not easy topics to talk about or discuss. There's a lot of heavy topics on this show, but I feel like with the music and the cinematography, it really keeps you hooked. It prevents you from kind of switching the channel and saying, don't really want to hear about that, don't really want to see about that. It kind of just keeps you hooked in it, into this trend, wanting more. The scene changes, all of the different perspectives, callback to like earlier childhood scenes, flashback scenes that really keep you hooked and interested. My favorite episode by far is definitely episode 7. Lexi's play was everything. Shout out to Lexi. Lexi, you really are a G. This play that Lexi did, it was definitely like my favorite thing in the entire series so far in season 1 and season 2. The entire thing was so good. And the way that it wraps up in episode 8 is even better. The play started off amazing. Like, where is it gonna go? How are they gonna wrap it up? They did not disappoint in the season finale. I'm so glad that her character really got a lot more attention and life in season 2. Also, Jules, gotta shout out to my girl Jules. I feel like we saw a lot of Jules in season 1. Like, Jules was like a big deal in season 1, and in season 2, you know, she kind of like fell back a little bit. I feel like in season 2, we really got to, you know, highlight a lot of Cassie, Nate, and Maddie, and Rue. The other characters kind of like took a little bit of a step back in this season. They kind of like switched things up a bit for season 2. Some of the characters that, you know, were leads in season 1 kind of took like a little bit of a back burner in season 2. Hopefully they'll be back front and center in season 3. I really want to know like what's going on more with like Kat's psyche and like Kat's mentality, like what's going on with Kat, because we really didn't get a lot of scenes with Kat. Apparently the actress who plays Kat, Barbie, had a lot of like creative differences with the producers and directors of the show. There's like allegedly rumors that she like walked off set at one point, but I really do hope that they're able to resolve those issues, and I really do hope that they're able to come to like some mutual agreement of some sort, because I really want to see more of Kat. There was a big gap between season 1 and season 2, but nevertheless we have been here patiently waiting, and season 2 delivered delivered. Season 2 was amazing. So excited for season 3. I think HBO is doing a great job with all of these teen dramas. You know, we have Gossip Girl, and now Degrassi's apparently coming back to HBO. Let me know what you guys feel about that. Did you guys watch the original? Are you excited about the new Degrassi show? I'm excited. Yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about Euphoria. If you've watched it, did you watch season 1? Did you watch season 2? I love season 2. It was kind of sad. It left me wanting more. I'm like, look, you guys better not carry HBO, write these checks, get these actors back on set, and let's go, because we need some answers. As always, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you like any of the content that you find on this channel, you already know what to do. Definitely hit that subscribe button and definitely drop me a comment. Let me know. Until the next video, until the next vlog, until the next commentary and review, I'm gonna talk to you guys later.